So now we are going to mix the vocals. Now I'm kind of throwing you at the deep end with this song because there are a lot of vocal tracks, and to be honest, mixing vocals is such a specialist subject. I could make a whole course on it, but we're actually going to just concentrate on dealing with the vocals we've got in this track, so let's get stuck in. Now the first thing you'll notice is the routing. Well, the first thing we should look at. There are so many different vocal tracks in this song. So let's see what we've got going on with the routing. I've coloured all of my vocal tracks purple, and we have some extra vocals which are separate from the main vocals. Which aren't from the main singer, Emma, so we have set them up in a completely separate bus, extra vox, so we're not really going to be treating them like we do the rest of the vocals. Now everything else I've split into lead vocals, backing vocals, ad-lib vocals, and vocal delays. So one of the stems is actually vocal delays, creative vocal delays that were done in the music production stage, like this. Right, so we have routed all of the lead vocals from the verse and the bridge, the chorus and some reverse effects into lead vocals. We've done the same with all the backing vocals for the verse and the bridge and the chorus, and then we've routed these groups into, all of these groups, into a main vox or a main vocals bus. And this is simply for control because there are so many vocal tracks. So all of Emma's vocals run into this main vocal bus. So we can easily adjust the levels of the whole bus when we've got the balance right. Now the most important vocals of any song are going to be the lead vocals. This is where the main hook will be, this is where the main melody will be. So let's first focus on that. So go to the busiest part of the song, in this case it's the last chorus, and that's off and the way, and we just loop that chorus. We'll turn off the backing vocals, we'll turn off the vocal delays, we'll turn off the ad-lib, so we're just dealing with the lead vocals. Much easier, see? So the first stage is to get rid of any unwanted frequencies, so let's load up our equalizer. We've done our gain staging just to make sure there's no clipping in any of the groups or the bus or on the master channel. That's really what we need to watch out for. So we've got the chorus, leads. Let's see what's going on. But it's quite a bright vocal because it's a female vocal and it's high up on the scale that she's singing. These vocals don't really have any unwanted bass frequencies. They were probably EQ'd out in the music production stage, which can quite often be the way, and that's absolutely fine. It's just one less task for us to do in this mixing stage. Now let's look at the wave file of this vocal. So that would be the chorus lead. Here we can see there are quite some jumps in dynamics. So we've got these very loud bits here and we've got these soft bits here, so we just want to kind of get them all sitting in more of the same space, and we're going to use compression to do that. So let's loop a part that has lots of dynamic range, so that would be this part for instance, and it might get slightly annoying to listen to it over and over, but hey, that's music production for you. It's my energy, it's my energy. Okay, it's not so bad. Let's load up our compressor. It's my energy. It's my energy. Now with vocals, you generally want to treat them quite carefully because they're delicate, so we don't want to crush the life out of them unless it's a distinctive creative choice. It's my energy, so you might want a really crushed sound. It's my energy. It's my energy. But there are better ways to do this using parallel compression, so we're not completely killing all the dynamics of the dry signal. But this is a nice delicate voice that she's got, so
It's my energy.
we'll turn the gain back to 0. We just want to apply some gentle compression.
It's my energy, energy. It's my energy, energy.
Just to get these sitting in a
My energy,
more of the same space.
it's my energy, energy. It's my energy, energy. It's my energy, energy.
And generally the attack and the release will be quite moderate with vocals, just to make it subtle, the compression effect.
It's my energy, energy.
So we can see here it's being dipped by up to 7.6
It's my energy,
decibels of gain reduction. So what we can do to make it even smoother, which is a great tip, is to actually use 2 compressors in serial and just reduce the gain by half as much with each compressor. And that means each compressor's working less hard, so there's less likely going to be any distortion or really forced sound.
It's my energy,
So let's get it down.
it's my energy, energy.
And the first one will take the edge off those really big differences in dynamics, and the second one, when that big peak has been reduced, it will just kind of even everything out a bit more.
It's my energy.
So what we're going to do is simply duplicate this compressor, and now we'll open them up side by side. So this is the first compressor,
It's my energy, energy.
and this is our second compressor.
It's my energy, energy. It's my energy, energy. It's my energy.
And let's group them together so we can easily bypass them and hear the difference and the effect it's having.
It's my energy, energy.
And this is on.
It's my energy, energy.
So if you'll look at the 4D mixing space diagram of this song, we want those vocals right up in your face, front and center of the stage. So that's what compression is helping us do. Okay, on to the next stage. We want to check that this compression isn't boosting any unwanted low frequencies. So we're going to add another equalizer after this, after these compressors.
It's my energy,
And we can see that it is actually adding low frequencies that we don't want. So we're going to roll those off. Now make sure you don't take out the body of the vocals. So in these we can see they are quite high anyway. So we're rolling them off at about 200 Hertz with a slow, with quite a gentle curve. Because the steeper the curve, the more obvious it is that you've applied equalization or a filter.
It's my energy, energy. It's my energy, energy. It's my
So we're going to keep the curve nice and gentle.
It's my energy.
And just get rid of these sub frequencies that we can't hear. They're just cluttering up the headroom. Now you can also add some additive EQ at this stage, but we're not going to do that yet, and I'll show you why. It's because we're processing each of these separate lead vocals, and we are putting them into the lead vocals bus, and we can now treat all of the vocals here together. And that is where we will add some brightening. We'll add a little bit of top end to the vocal. But another tip worth noting in terms of reductive EQ, in the vocals, if there is any frequency that's sticking out as harsh, you can boost a very sharp bell curve and sweep along the frequency range until you can hear it kind of hurting your ears almost. So make sure the volume's quite low for this.
It's my energy, energy. It's my energy, energy. It's my energy, energy.
When she sings energy, it sounds quite nasal to me, so we're going to find that frequency and we're going to reduce it.
It's my energy, energy. 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 It's my energy, energy.
And we can actually use the spectrum analyzer to help us see where the boosts are.
It's my energy, energy. It's my energy, energy. It's my energy.
Now that's where the power's coming from, so we don't really want to cut that too much. And let's listen to a comparison.
It's my energy, energy. It's my energy, energy. It's my energy, energy.
So we've just got rid of a couple of those problem frequencies by sweeping up and down the spectrum with a high Q value, lots of gain, and then when we've determined those resonant frequencies, then we can just cut them out slightly and clean up our vocals, which is going to make them sharper and less muddy in the mix. Okay, so we are going to pretty much copy these devices and we're going to paste them on the other lead vocals. Now the reason we're doing this is because they're the same vocals coming from the same singer, so we don't need to spend too much time working out what the settings should be. So let's listen to the verse vocals here.
Now I'm feeling like my soul. Now I'm feeling like my feelings are.
So now let's add some of the room reverb to give it the gelling effect in the space, in the mixing space.
It's my energy, energy. It's the strongest part of me.
Now check in stereo. And then this is the hall reverb on channel B on our return send B. Now we will make our final decisions on reverb later in the mix when all the elements are sounding how we like, and then we can meld them in together using the reverb just to gel everything together, make sure it sounds cohesive. But at this stage, this is all we need to do for the lead vocals. In the next lesson, we are going to look at the backing vocals, so I'll see you over there.